Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia. In this tutorial we're going to make this bikini cover-up dress. It goes up to about our knees, just right above our knees, so it's not a long one. I've done a few long ones in the channel, so go ahead and check those out. But for this one here, it's a little bit different. We have straps that are kind of optional for the side of the dress here. You don't have to, but if you do, these are also removable so that you can remove them if you don't want them, and you can put them on when you want to. And it's the same thing in the bottom. So we do have a slit halfway from here to here that you can just use this as to just kind of make it solid on the side, or you can remove it all together and have a slit that is on both sides, or you can bunch it up like this, like I did here, to make it give it a little bit of a nice texture on each side of your dress. Okay, this is pretty much what we're going to be working on. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, my lovelies, so before we start this project, I'm going to show you everything that I'm using for this. So as you can see, I have my two colors here that we're going to be alternating for our dress. And this is again Azurite. It's a brand that I found here in France. It's 100% acrylic, and it is a lightweight number 3. And color for this, which I kind of will call kind of purplish, I guess, is 0611. And recommended hook size for this is 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hook, and this skein here is 50 grams. Okay, so it's the same thing for this, the same brand, except for the color. This one is 076, which as you can see here is a little bit of a really light purple. Okay, all right, so these are the two yarns we're using. I have my tape measure here if you need to determine your size. I don't, but if you do, please make sure you have that. I have my 4.25 millimeter crochet hook, so I'm using a little bit bigger than what is recommended. So for 4.25, this is what I'm using. I have some stitch markers, darning needle, and of course a scissors that you will use to cut your strands. And make sure it's sharp and it's not gonna give your yarn stringy kind of feeling. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to get started with the project. We're going to make two panels that are exactly identical that we will join on the sides and the top, obviously, above each shoulder, for us to be able to wear this dress. It's going to be very simple. We're pretty much alternating these two colors, and I'm going to do it so that I do a couple of rows of these, I do a couple of rows of these, and I'm going to play with like the pattern a little bit in terms of how I organize my colors. You don't have to do the same. If you just want to use one solid color, you can. If you want to have more than two different colors to alternate, that is up to you. But we're going to start by doing one of the panels, and we're going to be working it in a long, like working up like this. Okay, so we're gonna start by doing a slip knot like that, and then we're going to do a chain that is going to be, if you measure your hips, okay, the widest part of your hips, if you measure that, let's say it comes up to 40, you want to do this part, this one panel to be 20 inches. So let's say it's 40 inches, the widest part of your hip measures to 40 inches. You want to do half of that. So we're going to be able to create half of the panel that is going to be the widest part of your hips. Okay, and then we're going to do the chains. So for me, I'm going to do a chain of 80 plus 5, because 5 is the turning, it's going to be the turning stitches, but we're going to do 85 total, but 80 is what we're actually working with. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, my lovelies, so this is my chain of 80 here. Okay, so this is half of the widest part of my hips, and then I'm going to add 5 more stitches for the turning. So right where I stopped to the 80th, I'm gonna have my finger there like this, then I'm going to add 5 more. So 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, and then in the one where I'm holding my finger in, I'm going to go into that and do a double crochet. I'm gonna go into that stitch and do my double crochet. So in this here, we have 3 chains that count as a double crochet, and then we have a chain 2 in between. So we have 5 chains altogether here. And then we do a chain of 2. We skip 2 stitches, 1 2, and in the third we do a double crochet, just like that. And then we do a chain of 2, skip 2 stitches. So 1 2 1 2, in the third we do a double crochet. Then we move on and we repeat this pretty much all the way to the end of our chain here. Okay, so do that and I'll meet you guys when you have reached the end. Okay, my lovies, so I have gone ahead and completed this first row here. So as you can see, it pretty much looks like that. And to start the second row, we're going to do a chain of 5. So 1 2 3 4 5, turn, and then we're going to skip these 2 stitches here, and in the third we're going to do a double crochet. So we have done a few projects with this pattern here already, so this is not something that is new at all. We're just creating this mesh pretty much panel. So you're going to continue to do this where you do chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and on top of the previous double crochet you do your double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and in the previous double crochet you do a double crochet. And you do this, and when you get to the end you will do your very last double crochet. This is the chain 5 that we skipped at the beginning. So you have 1 2 3. In this third stitch here you're going to do your double crochet and then chain 2, chain 5, turn, and then repeat this pretty much what we did here. And what I will do is I think I'll do about 8 rows of in this color. Then I'm going to switch and maybe do 4 rows of this, go back to doing 4 rows of this, and then maybe 8 rows of this. So just kind of playing with colors that way. You can do your panels however you want in terms of the color arrangement. So I think I'm going to do mine so that I have 8 rows and then 4 rows of each of the colors, and then going back to 8 rows of the other color, and then just kind of repeating that. And I'm going to do that so that my dress, if we go all the way from the top of our collarbone, is going to go just right above my knees. Okay, so it's not a long dress or bikini cover. It's just gonna go right above our knees. If you want to make it longer, of course, make it so that it goes to the length that you want. If you want to make it shorter, do less rows. And it's just a matter of literally standing in front of the mirror and putting it against your body to see how far it goes, and then you can increase or decrease the number of rows based on that. Okay, but I'm gonna do pretty much alternate those colors until my dress is at the length that goes from the from my collarbone all the way to just above my knees, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like, and then we can work on some details on the side, and then we will create the connection for the top of the dress, and then we will do the second panel exactly the same. But for now, let's do the length of this. When you have it, come back and I will show you what to do on the sides. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and finished the length that I'm looking for. So in terms of color, like I said, I did about 8 rows in this color here, and then I did 4 rows in this color, 4 rows back in this color, and then I did 8 rows in this color, and then back to doing 4 rows of this, and then I just alternated it like that. In this one here, I didn't do 4, I did 8. I didn't do 8, I did 10, and it was just an honest mistake. But when I saw it, I was like, hey, who cares? It's just the colors just go the way we want to have it go. So if you see that this is a little bit bigger than, let's say, this here, it's because I did 10 here by accident. So of course for the second panel I'm gonna match it, so I'm gonna do 10 rows when I get to this section here as opposed to just the 8. Then I do this alternation here, and then now I have 8 rows, which is where I just stopped working because I put it against my body and I saw that it's gonna be from my collarbone to just above my knees, so I'm gonna stop there. Okay, all right, so with that done, we're not gonna stop here. This is very stretchy, but I also want this dress to be a little bit nice and loose and comfortable. So we're going to increase the width of it on the sides, and that's just to make it a little bit more comfortable and loose, and to give it a nice design on the sides. Okay, so the first thing that I will do is I'm gonna pretty much knot all the sections where I changed the color here because I didn't. So all I do is I just do the knots here, and you can do it more than one to make sure it's super secure, because with this design here where it's very meshy, it's very hard to weave in your ends. so I don't usually weave in my ends when it comes to this particular design here. But anyways, with that knotted like that, I'm just gonna snip off these hanging strings here, and I'm gonna do that all the way to where we started the project in the bottom. Everywhere where I changed the color, I'm just gonna remove these guys, and then we're going to work a couple of rows on each side of our dress here, because the 40 that we did is when you have your dress tight, so the measurement will not be a loose measurement, it will be tight. But because of the stretchiness of the material, it's gonna make it so that it fits as tight, but with adding the other rows on the sides, it's gonna create a nice, comfortable, looser type of fitting, okay? And you don't have to do this. If you honestly feel like you don't want to have what I'm about to do, I am just showing you guys options of what you can do, so you don't have to do that on the side. You could just leave your panel like this, and then when you do your second, you join the two panels, and that's how you have it. But I have patterns that are like that already, so this one is going to make it a little bit different, okay? All right, so this is where I ended it here. We're going to work this side here, so I switched it to my dominant hand, obviously, because I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna do it like this. And what I will do is I will do 2 rows, I think, in this color, and finish it with 1 row of this, and the second panel will have the exact same. So on the side of our dress, we will have 6 rows of let's say double crochet stitch, okay? Because I'm gonna do a double crochet stitch on the side here. So I just kind of pivot my work. It's now big, so it's a little bit hard to kind of maneuver it around. So I pivot my work a little bit like that, and then on here I will do a chain of 2. So 1, 2, which is counts as my double crochet, and then in this gap here I'm going to do a double crochet, okay? And then on top of the double crochet here, let me see, maybe I will actually do it so that, because I know if we do too many, let's say I do 2 here and then 1 here and then 2 here and then 1 here, it may be too much. So let's do 2 here. Sorry, I'm a little bit off camera. So I have this, which counts as a double crochet, and then I'm going to do 2 here. So that's 1 and 2, and then I will skip. Let's skip this here, the double crochet, and then go right into the next gap and do 2 double crochets. You guys, I freestyle my work, so when you hear me kind of being a little bit hesitant, is because I'm kind of making things up as I go in terms of how I'm designing it. Okay, I have a general idea of how I want something to look, but then as I work through it, I'm kind of freestyling it, okay? To make sure it looks good, to make sure it's not gonna be too loose and looks off. That's why if you hear hesitation of what I want to do. So I think like this, it looks nice. Like it looks nice like this. It's just a row of double crochet. Anyways, so you continue to do this where you pretty much do 2 double crochets in each of these gap. And what I will do is I will go all the way to where this ends, this color here, because here is going to be the top of our dress. This is going to be where we do the top of our dress. So if we do these double crochets to here, then it gives us this section here as our armpit right here. And then we're going to do a little bit of a couple of rows to move this up a little bit like this, and on the other side as well. And that's going to create like a band of the dress on top that goes over our shoulder and connects to the second panel when we do a second panel. But for now, do your double crochets until you get to here. So which means your final 2 double crochets will be in this hole right here, which is where this color is ending. Then come back. I will show you how to do the second row, and then how we will connect doing 1 row of this color, okay? Go ahead and do that, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have worked my double crochet just on the side of the dress. So as you can see, we started right here, and we worked our way all the way up to the top. And again, we're leaving this section here for our arm section. And now that we're here, I did my 2 double crochets here. So to start the second row, because we're going to do 2 rows of this, I'm going to do a chain of 2 and turning. And the 2 again counts as a double crochet for this project. Okay, and then we're going to pretty much work a double crochet on every stitch from here. So this chain 2 counts as a double crochet that goes with this stitch here, and so the next one we're doing is for this stitch, which is going to be right here. So we go into that stitch and do our double crochet. Then we move on to the next stitch here and do our double crochet, and we go to the next and we do our double crochet, and we repeat this all the way to the bottom. And when we get to the bottom, by the bottom I mean this section here. So when you get to here, you will do your final double crochet on top of this chain 2 that we had, and then you will change color to this color here. Okay, you will change to this color and do one more row of this, and then when you have completed that, then you switch the color and you do the same thing we just did on this side, which means you do 2 rows of this color, and you will connect your yarn wherever you can connect it from the bottom here, and to do 2 rows and then do this color. But what I will do is I will do the 2 rows of this, do 1 color row of this color, come back and show you how it looks like, so that you can then complete the other side as well. Okay, so I will come back when I have completed this side here. Actually, as a matter of fact, let's complete all sides, because you know how to change the color, you know how to switch and connect your color on this side. Let's go ahead and do all of that, and then when I finish that, I will come back to show you how to do increase this size here a little bit for us to have a place that is going to be for the that goes over our shoulder for the side, to the 2 sides to connect for our dress to pretty much connect to the back panel. Okay, so I will do that and I'll come back when I've completed. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed this bordering on each side of the panel here. So as you can see, we did 2 rows in this color here of double crochets, and then we finished it with 1 color of this darker color, 1 row of this darker color of double crochet as well. So when I finished it, it ends up here, and I cut it and I leave enough of a string here to be able to join. When we do end up joining a little bit of this section here, we will be able to do it with this string that I leave here. And of course, if I flip it to the other side, I did the exact same thing on the other side. So this is what you should have done as well, where we pretty much do that bordering there like this. Okay, so the way this dress is gonna be, then this is the bottom here, and then it's going to have this side here joined to one of the sides of the back, or let's say this is the front and the other one is the back, and then this side on the left side is gonna join to the other side of the back. And then if we move it all the way to the top, as you will see here, this is where we did the bordering. So you do see that it's a little bit further out compared to the rest of it here, but this is going to be the armpit area here. What I did while I was still off camera as well is I completed this section here that is going to be for the neckline on one side. So I'm going to show you how to do it on this side, and then that will mean we have 1 panel completely done now, and then we move on to doing the second panel. Okay, but for this panel here, we're going to create this section here. So I just did 6 rows matching, continuing the same color and also matching the same design, so that we can have this here as like where the neck area is, and then this is going over your shoulders and connecting to the panel in the back. Okay, so it's very easy to connect this, but I will show you how to do that, and then we'll finish these off before we go ahead and start our second panel, okay, which is exactly identical to this first one. So I'm going to do a slip knot here, just like that. Oops. Just like that. And then I'm going to bring this in, and in the very corner of this here, I'm going to bring that loop of the slip knot in, and then I'm going to do a chain of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's our turning chain, as well as the first 3 are our double crochet, and the 2 are the chain 2 in between. And then I'm going to skip these 2 stitches here, and in the next stitch, which is the 3rd stitch, we're going to do a double crochet, which happens to be on top of that. So you already know what we're doing here, because the whole body of this dress is pretty much the same design like that. So you just skip 2 stitches. The next stitch where you work your double crochet happens to be on top of the double crochet from the previous row, and we do only 5 rows. So on this side here, as you can see, 1 2 3 4 5. So we're going to do just 5 rows. Let me see here. So 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, yeah, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 4. Okay, so we do one more. So I do my chain 2 and then go into my final one here. So we're stopping there like this before we turn. Then we do a chain of 5. So 1 2 3 4 5, and then we turn. It's now a big piece, so we're turning it nice and clean like this. And then my chain of 5 counts as a double crochet for the first 3 stitches, and the last 2 counts as a chain 2. Then I go into the next double crochet from the previous row and do my double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, do a double crochet, chain 2, and then so I just continue doing this until I get to about 6 rows. So I think I did 6 rows on the other side. I'll just double check quickly. Or you can do however many you want if you want this to be a little bit shorter. And by the way, just before I finish here, the chain 5 that we started with, we're going to do our double crochet on top of the 3rd chain from the bottom from here. So 1 2 3 is where we do our double crochet, just like that. Okay, then we chain 5 and turn. Okay, and like I said, I think I did 5 rows. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6. We did 6 rows. So obviously I will match it on this side as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 6 rows. I have 2 here. I'm gonna do the remaining 4. When I have completed those, I will come back to show you guys what it looks like, and then we will kind of pause the video and repeat the exact same thing for the second panel. But for now, let's finish this part. Okay, so I've gone ahead and completed the 6 rows here that we're going to be using for the sleeves. And now that I've done that, I will go ahead and cut my yarn off just somewhere so that I have enough to be able to join the top here. So I just have that much that I'm cutting here, and then I'm going to slip stitch to close that here for now. And as you can see, I did the same for the other side. Okay, all right, so now this is how the top of our dress looks like. We have the neckline here, and then this part is going to be joined on top of our shoulder when we're connecting the second panel to it. And then if we move down, this is going to be where we leave this section here open for our arms. It's a lot here, but it's okay. It's a loose dress. It's a bikini cover as well. That's gonna be nice and comfortable if you have it nice and open here. And then as you go down even further, then you will see the section that is a little bit solid that we're gonna be joining to each of the sides. So this is gonna end up laying on both sides. I haven't decided yet if I want to join these all the way from the bottom all the way up here, or if I want to join it halfway and leave it open so there's a big slit on each side. And we could also play with the slit. If we do leave the slits, we could also do like we could do a long string that we can kind of weave on each of the sides so that you can close it all the way down if you do need to, and or you can remove those strings and leave it open. So I think I will do something like that, just so it's a little bit of a versatile dress. When you wear it, you can either have it so that you have the big slit on the side, and if you want to have it kind of closed, you could just kind of weave in your string on each side. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but we will decide. Since I'm freestyling, we will decide that at the end. Okay, but for now, this is the first panel completed. Go ahead and repeat the exact same thing we did with this one, and then when you have 2 of these identical ones, come back and we will move on to the next step together. What I will do while I work on my second panel, all these hanging strings that I don't need, I will weave them in or cut them off. So for example here, but don't cut this one off because we need it to join. And for example, all of these where we were using to change the color, I will probably just cut them off before we come back for both of my panels. That way we only have these ones that we're using to join and these ones on top here that we're using to join. All right, okay, so I'll let you guys pause the video here. Go ahead and work on your second panel. I will do the same, and I will see you guys when you have both of them completed. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed my second panel as well. So as you can see, this is the first one, and I have my second one here. So this is all done. We have obviously worked on the arm shoulder here, or the arm section here, and that is all done. So we're just gonna be joining our top, or our dress I should say. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to line up each of the sides here like this and join it on top here. Okay, so I'm not going to show you guys that on camera because you guys know how to do that. So just stick your darning needle and you connect it here, and of course we will do that on this end as well. We'll go ahead and join that here, and when I have completed joining that, what I will do for the sides is that I'm going to line it up very nice and straight so that it matches both sides like this. Okay, so we'll do something like this, and then what I will do is I will use the yarn that I had left here, and I will join it maybe like a quarter down. As you can see, this is how long it is. I will do it a quarter down, so maybe up to where these color ends, this light color ends and the darker color starts. And then I will see how it looks. I will try it on, so which means I'll be leaving this here as a slit on the side, and I will match that on the same side, exactly the same. And when I see that the slit, maybe I will leave it like that. The other option that I have is I'll probably do a really long chain, and with that chain I will use it to try and connect it from where I start my slit, and I'll connect it all the way down here, so that it's an option. If you do want your dress to be fully covered here, you can just use the string to make sure you weave it in and close it, and if you don't, you can just remove the string. So that is what I will do. So I'll do a long string of maybe 100 to 150, and then I will come back and show you guys, if that's an option, how it would work. Okay, but for now, let's go ahead and join our work and then come back when you have completed that. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed the dress here. So as you can see, I pretty much joined it all the way from here to here, so I decided to end up doing it halfway. I did 3/4 or a quarter up and left 3/4 open, and it was way too high, so I decided to do it halfway. And then for the other half, I just did a strap of about 30 inches or so. Then I used that strap to kind of weave it through like this, that we can use on the side. And if we don't want to, we can just remove the strap and have this as a slit on the side. You could also pull this the strap like this, or the string, so that it could kind of like bunch up the side of your dress like this, and you can wear it like that. So obviously you will see in the pictures that I do different versions of it. So if you do it like this, like, you would be able to have it kind of crunched up like this, so your dress will have this kind of look in the bottom. Okay, like this. And what I did as well is the arms here are pretty open. It's up to you. You can leave it like that. But the other solution, if it's too wide, or if you just want to wear it different sometimes, is I did the same thing. This chain here is about 100, so it's about 30 inches long. And I did the same thing where I went up to where I think it's comfortable for my arm to come through here. And then right underneath my armpit, I did the same thing where I just weaved in the strap like this. And then it ends right here, and then I will be able to tie this here, and it makes it so that this is a little bit hugging to the top, on the top of the dress. And I did that on this side as well. Okay, so this is pretty much the end of the project here. I hope you guys enjoyed doing this one. It's a little bit different, but it's a nice summer dress or for bikini cover. But yeah, so this is pretty much what we have completed, and it looks like this. So hopefully you have something similar. And thank you so much again for watching the video to the end. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, like, and hit the notification bell, and I'll obviously see you guys for the next one. Okay, bye.